I wanted to show you the little dot on the right hand side of the wyvern pot. When the white had cured, there was a little patch that was really dark, and I suspected that there was a bubble underneath. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Now, I feel like putting some photos into resin. So I've decided to show you guys the way I prefer to do it. I have done it a few ways, and this is the way I definitely find is easiest, in my opinion. You could laminate photos. You could print them and cover them in glue or seal them in something. I prefer to do it this way because I find it's just easier. But it is a matter of opinion, isn't it? Everyone's opinion's different. So I'm going to show you how I would put some photos into resin. I've got a black and white photo and also a colour photo. And I want to see how they come out. I really love these photos. I hope the pieces come out really nicely. So let's have a look. As before, I thought I'd show you the waterside paper that I'm using. It is for a laser printer, but you can get them for inkjet printers. And this is the photo I will be putting in first. It's a picture that my mother loved. It was her father that I never met. He was very proud of his horse, and he did fight in World War I. So I'm going to start by placing this picture that I've printed on waterside paper on my laser printer upside down on a rather large coaster mould or a small tray mould, whatever you want to call it. It's a mould with a lip, so it has a lip around the outside, and that makes it perfect. I am aware I'm putting the waterside paper upside down. I just find that easier than putting it the right way up and trying to slide it off the paper, because it always crinkles when I do it. I will try and get it sorted because it theoretically would work better, but that's the way I do it. So I've covered it completely in water and I've let it sit for about 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes at a push. And then I can slide the backing out. Now it is slightly wrinkled at the edges, so I'm pushing the edges down because there's a lot of water in here. It's still sitting in water. So once I've emptied the water out, then it will have time to dry and stay where it's meant to be. Once I've had a good clean up, then I can have a look at how bad or good it is. And although it's wrinkled, I think it will be fine. So I leave it to dry until the following day. I do want it completely dry, and then I'm going to use some glass lining paint. Now the one on the right is the one I'm going to use. It's a cheap version that I bought from Temu, but it does do exactly the same as the expensive version that you can buy in the UK on Amazon and works beautifully. I thought I'd try this cheap version to see if it does actually do what I want it to do. And although the nozzle is a lot thicker, it seems to be working really well. I'm going around the outside edge of this picture, not only to give it a lip, but also to make sure that the picture is stuck down to the mould. It does have a little bit of a flaky edge, not particularly brilliantly stuck, and I don't want any resin creeping under that picture and spoiling my image. So by doing this, it will keep it stuck to the mould. It will hold it down. And it also gives it a nice, clean, crisp, dark edge on the front. If the picture is slightly within the mould area itself, you're giving it a nice, crisp line. So I let that paint go completely hard, and it did take a little longer than the brand I usually use, but it did go hard. And now I have an area I can fill up with resin. I've mixed up a small amount of 2-part epoxy resin and added some white pigment paste to give it a solid white colour, because the picture on the front you're going to see if it doesn't have a white background. It's a black and white picture. It needs to have white behind it so that it gives it a vibrant look. I'm going to fill out the rest of this mould with a dark colour, and if I did that over the top of the water slide, you wouldn't see the picture at all. I give it a spray with isopropyl alcohol and I leave it to cure. So the following day I'm going to do the background colour. Now this will be the lip around the outside edge and it will fill up the mould. I'm going to add some black laser paste. Now I know a lot of people can't get laser paste, and I'll try and link the video in the top right hand corner. When I first tried this, it's basically glitter that should hold itself in resin without any glue to hold the glitter where it is, because glitter tends to sink. It's just a pretty glitter that you can put into resin and it will dissipate and stay there. Now it's got no pigment in it, it's just glitter in a paste form. So I'm going to add a couple of colours as well. The first one I'm going to add is the blue. Now this is from Let's Resin's pigment paste set, and it's a rather nice blue. I'm not going to make this blue, but I want to add blue in it. I'm going to make most of the colour in black. I actually wanted to see by adding a bit of blue whether I could get a different colour to the black, a kind of bluey black. That's the aim here. Don't want just black. Now I did realise quite quickly that it wasn't an opaque enough colour for me, so I did end up adding some more black into the mix to try and get it more opaque. That does mean that the glitter isn't so seen, but I only really want it on the outside and you should see it slightly, just a hint of glitter. I'm happy with the blue-black colour, and then I'm going to fill up the mould with this resin. I'm pouring it rather slowly. I am going to get out any stuck air from the 90-degree angles, and I'm liking this blue-black colour. I just thought it would make a difference than standard black, but I want to just stick with the black and white theme because it's a black and white picture. I squirt it with isopropyl alcohol and then I get a micro brush to go in round the 90-degree angles of the lip to try and get any stuck air out, and then I leave it to cure for 24 hours. So the following day I can have a look and see what we got. I'm quite excited about this. I do love this picture of my granddad. Although I never met him, I still feel it's a proud man on his horse and I love it. And I'm really over the moon how this came out. Yes, it's dull. Yes, it's patchy. You're going to get that. It does need a top coat. It's not sticky though because I placed it upside down, but it really does need a top coat. So I'm happy with the way it looks right now, but it does need that top coat. So I mix up a small amount of 2-part epoxy resin again, and I give it a really lovely top coat. Now I'm taking it up to the top of the side edges so that it gives it a solid flat surface. I squirt it with isopropyl alcohol to get rid of any surface bubbles and to let those bubbles release, and I leave it to cure. So this is the second picture I'm going to use. Now this is a very old picture from 1997 of my sons, Daniel and Lee, when we was at an Isle of Wight trip. A very lovely photo, and I've done exactly the same with the edges as I did with the first one, and I'm going to coat the back with white exactly the same as I did with the first piece. I'm using a heat gun here because I don't really at this point want to spray it with isopropyl alcohol until all those little gaps have gone. Only then am I happy to spray it with isopropyl alcohol. I don't know what that would do to the actual waterside paper if I'd sprayed it, so I'm being cautious. And then I let it cure. Now with this one, the following day, I'm going to use Wyvern, but I wanted to show you the little dot on the right hand side of the Wyvern pot. When the white had cured, there was a little patch that was really dark, and I suspected that there was a bubble underneath. So I got some white UV resin and I put it over the top, because if I'm putting a dark colour on the back, that's going to show through any thin areas, and I thought Don't want that to ruin a picture inside, so I covered it with a little dot of white UV resin. Now I'm using the wyvern round the outside edge of this piece. I wanted it a little bit brighter than just a dark colour, or any colour really. I wanted it to be quite shimmery and attractive. So I'm using the wyvern flakes. These are from Emma the Tiny Turner and they are available on toonpish.com. Extremely vibrant colours. I do love Emma's flakes, as you know if you know me well. So I'm using a fluffy brush to go around the outside edge and to make sure everything is covered in these little wyvern flakes. Pushing down the colour to make sure it's nice and burnished into the mould. Getting the inside lip, and then I tip up the mould and make sure all the outside edges are covered as well. This wyvern is a beautiful green purple, and although I don't like the green, I definitely like the purple. So that combination is cool for me. And I'm thinking if it's a green background on the photo, the green purple would actually go really well with the photo. Once I've completely covered it, I make sure I brush out any excess flakes. And on this occasion, there wasn't that many to pull back in the pot, but if there is, yeah, they go back in the pot. And when I'm happy that it's all flake free, then I top up the entire mould with black. That will pick up the flakes. It will give a nice solid black colour to the bottom. And it's simple, to be honest with you. And flakes like black behind them. It really pops the colours. I am going around the outside edge with a micro brush to get rid of any stuck bubbles in the 90-degree angles, but I am being extremely careful not to rub off any of those flakes. And then I leave it to cure. So the following day I can have a look at this piece, and it is one of my favourite photos of the boys when they were younger, to be honest with you, and I really want this to come out really nicely. And I was absolutely gutted that that dark patch that I mentioned was right in Lee's face. I knew there was a bubble there. Honestly, I was seriously gutted. Just happened to be there. Might look better once it's got a top coat. It was indeed a bubble and a little ripple on the skin as well, and I really hoped that I could fix this because I really loved the picture, as I said. Let's give it a top coat, see what it does. So I mixed up some more 2-part epoxy resin and I poured it on top. What could I do? I wanted to save this piece, I really did. I do love this photo. It takes me back to when they were younger. I squirt it with isopropyl alcohol and I leave it to cure and cross my fingers and toes. Now while that's curing, I'm going to finish off Grandad Wells. Grandad Wells loved his horse trigger. That horse was a big part of his life. And I do think that this picture shows how proud he is of his horse trigger. And I wanted to keep that. And I think this nostalgic piece is just beautiful. Even though it was a round mould and it was a square picture, I still think it came out beautifully. And the little bit of glitter in the outside edge just made it sparkle. As for my boys, I think the top coat has just saved this piece. I needed to top coat it anyway. I didn't want to stop. I absolutely love this, and I thought giving it a sticker of when it was taken that I cut out on my X-Tool M1 Ultra just finishes it off. And although you can see a little dark patch under Lee's eye, it doesn't really show at all. It is slightly there if you peer at it, but no, it doesn't take away from how great this piece is, and I love it. Even though I never met Grandad Wells, I think he looks like a very proud man in his uniform with his very handsome steed. And I think putting pictures, old photos, keepsakes in resin is something really worth doing. I adore this piece, and as for my boys, this photo is now forever kept in resin, and I think it looks wonderful. Putting photos in resin doesn't have to be too hard. Although we had a little bit of an issue with Lee's face, if you put the waterside paper down the right way, it will stick better. It's just I haven't got to grips with it yet. But I still adore both pieces. I think they are amazing, and I really hope you've enjoyed watching this. Come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Happy crafting, and bye for now.